One second, you guys. Give me a second. I think we're good here. All right, we are platinum. Okay, we got them connected. So now let me go back and share my screen. All right, let's do this. Last week, and this just reinforced my feelings about the whole subject in the first place. Last week when I did class with you guys, it was a great class and everything else. We discussed some important stuff, but literally my heart was breaking while I was doing the class, and I couldn't say anything because my wife had just earlier was screaming in the house. And I told you she's one of the most peaceful human beings I've ever met. She's very consistent with a smile on her face when she wakes up. Just a pleasant person to be married to. My marriage to her is such a wonderful experience as a man. Uh, because as far as this arguing in the house and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't happen. We don't. It just she literally is just so pleasant to be around. Just pleasant. Everybody loves her and respects her. So anytime I hear her crying and screaming at the top of her lungs, something is wrong. Everybody hear what I'm saying, and I'm doing a sound check at the same time. So type a number 10 in the box if you can hear me. And then we got a lot to cover for today. So I'll say this quickly. Yeah, my heart was completely shattered because right before class, uh, we found out my nephew got shot in the head, and he was only 16 years old. And it was through some ruthless people who actually wasn't even after him. They was after his friend. He got shot in the head, and he was a really good kid, played on the football team, worked a job, and had just paid for his own ticket because he never got on an airplane. He never been on an airplane ride. So he purchased his own ticket and was supposed to have went to New York last week. Just an incredible young man. And he comes out of school on his way to work and he gets shot in the head in front of other students, including his sister, who recorded the shooting. And then she had to run over and pick him up off the ground and hold his head while the ambulance got there. And all this was going on, and I had to do class. And I told Donna afterwards, I said, see, when you are in certain positions, you have to pretend like nothing bothers you. And I know some leaders who there's tons of things under the surface going on, but on the surface, they have to still do their job and they break down afterwards. Are y'all hearing what I'm saying? Type of 50 in the box if you're hearing what I'm saying. The point is that for you guys, we're going to get into the prop firms today. We're going to talk about the presidential election. But one thing I want you to understand is that, well, with all this fire and fury and all these different things, you have to understand at the end of the day, you are a limited resource. I don't care how much wheatgrass you eat, I don't or drink. I don't care how much green grass or spinach you eat on a daily basis. Oh, I don't eat carbs. I don't eat do it, and I don't do. Okay, you can do all of that, but think through history. There is not a single human being who has ever set foot on this planet who still is here today. Meaning that if they existed in the past, that's exactly right. They existed in the past. Nobody lives forever. Nobody. And with that being said, you have to consider what you're doing with your life right now as we speak, because you're running out of time. And I told you guys that this is bothering me to no end. I am running out of time and I have so many different things in my head that I still need to accomplish. I haven't even scratched the surface. I haven't even began to do the things that I have in my heart and in my head. Now, to others like my wife and all these other people, oh, you've been on television, you have radio show, you was a millionaire, you did this, and this. That means zero to me compared to the things that God has allowed me to think about in my head that I could accomplish. And I haven't even started, and I'm getting older. So every birthday to me is not a celebration, it's a conviction of my shortcomings of not reaching the goals in my head. Type of 100 if you feel what I'm saying. This is not a joke. And some of you guys who constantly keep hearing me try to explain to you about proper investments, you're not hearing me. You're still thinking from a poor man's perspective. I told you I used to do real estate. I was very heavy into the real estate market. I even had 2 licenses in 2 big states as a real estate agent. I never sold one single property as a real estate agent. And I'm going to get to class and I'm going to get to all that. But just here, let your uncle talk to you so you understand where I'm trying to take you as well. I never sold a single piece of real estate to anybody, even though I held 2 licenses in 2 big states, because I never went to school to get a license in real estate to sell houses to people. I wanted to know how to play the game if I had hired real estate agents. So to really truly understand how they play, how they do their job, I had to become one of them. That was the only reason why I went and got my real estate licenses in 2 different states, because that's where I was doing investing. And so I wanted to outsource, watch what I'm saying to you. I wanted to outsource the work to trusted real estate agents. But how do I know which ones to trust? Let me find out their job by becoming one of them first, going to school and learning what it takes. Fiduciary responsibility. Some of y'all don't even know what that word means. I did neither until I went to school and started doing real estate school. Fiduciary responsibilities, umbrella covering over your clients first. See, I had to understand this because I was in one real big real estate deal. And I'm not going to say the state, but they saw me as a black guy with a baseball hat and I was younger, and they underestimated my net worth. So I had selected around 10 different properties that I wanted to buy at the exact same time. And this white lady ended up underselling me and giving it to somebody else thinking I couldn't afford it. And then later on, when I started building my houses, I had built a 2,000 square foot house. I built that 7,000 square foot house. But not only did I do that, when I moved to a state, see, I told you I used to be somebody totally different. When I moved and relocated to this big state, about 40 families had followed me. That's how much influence I had. But she didn't know that. So I ended up saying, okay, you did me wrong, because I was buying businesses and everything. All of this was in this package deal trying to buy under these foreclosed properties. I was just going to buy 10 of them and have those as investment properties and then go ahead and still buy these other brand new properties with these new builders. She didn't know about the new builder properties, which are worth millions of dollars. She didn't know, because I had all these families and I helped design some of their homes, including my dad's house, which he stayed around the corner from me, and his house was 5,000 square feet. See, she didn't know about all that. She just saw, oh, I'm buying the 10,000 property cash. I'm buying this one at 20,000 cash and this and that. She didn't know. So she thought, oh, I ain't got time for all that. So she dished me off to somebody else. And then later on, she found out, oh, this brother not only was just starting, but he had plenty more, millions of dollars. By the time I brought all the people and my friends and family and all the other people who followed me to the new state, who bought brand new homes, it was millions of dollars of real estate. And then she was trying to get back in contact with me. No, no, no. You lost your opportunity. So that's why I went to school, to learn what they were supposed to do. So I outsourced the work to them. Somebody type out outsource. So I'm going somewhere and then we'll get to class. I'm trying to take you guys so you'll understand what I'm trying to do even now for you, because some of you guys are still not getting it. So somebody type the word outsource. You need to understand what I'm trying to accomplish for you. If you don't want it, that's fine, but at least you'll understand my mentality and where I'm trying to go. It's very powerful because this is what rich people do. This is how they make their money. They don't do everything on their own. They outsource the work. They learn enough about it, and then they find somebody who they can trust to do the job right. and then they outsource it and they move on to something else. So when it comes to the project that I'm working on for you guys, with this copy trading, it ain't just about, oh, just get some copy trades. I'm trying to teach you the principle of outsourcing the work. Some of you guys are hammering your heads trying to learn trading, and it's consuming you. And sometimes the old saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. In other words, you're so deep into it until you can't see the simplicity of it. And it's driving you nuts when all you have to do is outsource the work. When I started buying all them investment properties, I wasn't going to maintain them. What did I do? I outsourced the work to a property management company. Why? Because I'm running out of time. I have other desires. The finances I make from real estate was to finance my dreams. My dream was not to just own real estate. My dream was to own the real estate so I can afford the time to go do something else. And the rent rolls coming in gave me the financial stability to go and follow my dreams. Real estate wasn't my dream. I had other dreams, but the real estate financed it. Type of 75 if you guys are hearing what I'm saying. And this was not on my agenda today. So I don't know who's in the crowd who's supposed to hear this, but you at the right place at the right time, because I guarantee I had no intention to say anything like this. I actually had my paper. I was ready to go. But maybe you're supposed to hear this. Maybe it's just one person. So give me 2 more minutes on this. Everything I've learned to do, I've learned to outsource it. Why? Because Uncle P is running out of time. And I haven't even touched the things that really does matter to me. Trading doesn't matter to me. It's just an avenue. It's an opportunity to, like real estate did, finance my dreams. Now, this is another avenue. It's digital. As I was talking to my son, PJ, and he ended up talking to, he's very well connected, by the way. I'm very impressed with him. Very well connected to some very, very big people that yeah, I'll just say it like that. And he's rubbing elbows with all these nice people. And he said he talked to a guy who owned who's in his 60s and owned a restaurant. And he had a talk with my son. He said, I was so impressed because my son taught him at 60 something about what? Digital real estate. Because you can make more money in digital real estate than you ever could in regular real estate with less ease, with way more ease than if you actually got into the real estate market. So for those who want to get into the real estate market, I've done it. Which one do I prefer better? I will always go with digital real estate first and then use the resources from there to invest into real estate, the tangible real estate. In other words, the markets is the digital real estate, making money online. And then from there, if you got an excess and you don't want to just give your money away in taxes, that's why you transfer that money into hard assets, which is called real estate. That's why the rich people do it. So now you understand why they make Bill Gates and all the rest. They start off with something digital. Amazon, digital. Get what I'm saying? They make their money in other areas and then they move it into real estate. They don't, real estate ain't like it used to be. So what am I trying to say to you? This whole copier service business is so that you can outsource the work and let the money come into your account so that you can move on with life and really start pursuing the dreams that you had in your heart. Because what happened is some of you guys have ditched your actual dreams and allowed this monster of a market to completely take over your life. And now the thing that you were going to use the money from the market for, you have postponed your dream because this thing has taken over you because you just like, I got to figure out this puzzle, which you can over time. But now you're so engrossed in it and losing money week after week after week to some of you guys are now dealing with depression over the markets. When in essence, this is nothing supposed to have been a financial vehicle to finance your dreams. It was not supposed to be your purpose. It was supposed to finance your purpose. Somebody type finance. in the box. I want to make sure you guys are hearing what I'm saying. And week after week after week, your limited time. My nephew, he thought he was going to New York. Now look what happened. Anything can happen in your life, and your time could be cut short. And now, if you look back over what you done spent your life doing, are you really going to be happy with it? Spending 50, 60 hours a week on these charts, and you frustrated because you're overthinking it, you're overcomplicated, you can't control. It ain't like you need a new strategy. You're just having a hard time because you want this so bad until it has taken over your life. And some of the best traders I know, they don't need this. And that's what makes them good. So they can take a trade and walk away. It's not that big of a deal. For you, every trade becomes life or death. So by uncle creating a system like I did in real estate to where I would acquire the assets and then outsource it. I had contractors who I can call in the drop of a hat, painters, concrete workers, roofers. I had everybody at my disposal, property management companies. I didn't have to even know who the tenant was. They took care of everything. I acquired the asset and then let them have it. But if I keep trying to put my hand into it, I only probably would have walked away with just like maybe 2 or 3 properties because that's the most I can handle on my own. I'm going to do this myself. Okay, then go ahead and be stubborn. But you're limiting your reach. But I used to own properties in Cali, Arkansas, Las Vegas, Texas, and a couple other states. How was I able to do that? Do I fly to each one of the places? No, I would fly there and look. In fact, to be honest with you, I had got so good at it until I had learned how to buy properties through tax rolls. Do you know I had bought 3 properties for less than $1,000 in Arkansas, and I never flew out to see them to this very day, and I still own them. Never even went out there once. Or you're hearing what I'm saying? Why? Because I outsource things. And I'm realizing that no matter how long I teach people how to trade, I can't teach you how to control yourself. And so therefore, I'm teaching you how to outsource the work and let the money come into your account. Let me show you what I mean. Give me a second. I want you guys to really get this. Okay. You think it's all about, oh, you do it. No, I'm trying to teach you what I'm running. Yeah, I'm concerned. I am running out of time. And then I'm gonna say this, and then let's go ahead and get started with what's important. Because again, I don't know who done showed your hind parts up in my class, but this ain't what we're supposed to be talking about. But again, when God has something to say to somebody, I will stop everything to make sure that this person, whoever you are, gets the message that you're supposed to get, and then you do whatever you want with it. Okay? This is not a sales pitch, so don't do whatever you want. Because I'm already doing this, okay? I'm already doing it. You do what you want. But let me ask you this. Last week, you seen the results. Here's what we've done so far this week. Even in a bad week, 500 pips, 10 trades, only 2 losses. I'm not doing all this stuff. You think I'm taking all these trades? You got to be out your mind. I'm sleeping. Did you hear what I said? I am sleeping. And then I get up and I got a whole list of things that I attend to. And then I spend time with Nancy. You wonder why I travel all the time? Because I got the time to do it. I outsourced the work. I didn't stop doing my practice. I just switched where I'm doing it. I'm no longer doing it with hard assets called real estate. I just moved it to digital real estate and I kept it moving. And this is far more profitable because I just set it up and I forget it. Type a amen if y'all understand what I'm trying to tell you. The markets are no longer going to take over me. I spent years trying to learn this market. I learned enough about it. I really don't care no more. I'm numb to it. It doesn't even matter to me no more because it's no longer a desire. It's an avenue to create an income for myself so I can produce what I desire. I can go after what I desire and not worry about the money. Some of you guys, that's the reason why you have a big dream, but the reason why you can't get to it is because money is an issue. Am I right? Type amen in the box and we'll move on. Type amen in the box if I'm right. Come on, type. We being honest in here. I don't care what y'all. If y'all don't want honesty, go to any of these other groups who want to tell you this and that and just talk charts all the time and that's and that, and you know you ain't catching what they're talking about. But if that's what you want, move on to them. But if you really want to hear about real life and making real decisions so that your life can be worth something, then okay. Your uncle is trying to tell you. We can talk about charts and we will. We're going to go over all that. But sometimes you just need somebody who's going to encourage you when you are brokenhearted and you ain't said nothing to nobody. I don't know a single group out there who stops from the charts and really just talk about life for a minute and say, okay, this is where I am. How do I know where you are? Because I was there too. And in some sense, I still am because I haven't accomplished what I really want to accomplish. This charts was not my accomplishment. It was supposed to be an avenue to my accomplishments. And here it took over years of my life. I feel like these charts became a prison to me because I was sleeping, eating, and doing everything about these charts. I was married to the charts. And it was frustrating. Meanwhile, my life is drifting away because I'm getting older. I have turned double nickels. Hashtag Uncle P, don't steal my slogan. I turned double nickels, and guess what? I still haven't even scratched the surface of what's in my head that I can accomplish and do. And yet I'm spending all this time on these charts. And if I don't stop this pattern, I'm going to lose even more years to these charts. And I don't want to do it. So the question is, here's the question, and we move on. Are you going to let your pride get in the way? Or are you going to come and get this money and then move on with life? You going to let this rental property come in and work for you? Or you going to keep on trying to fight with that one rental property, trying to fix all the repairs on yourself? Meanwhile, all those other opportunities for rental property was available, but you were so hard-headed that you just got to learn, I'm going to do it myself. And then as far as you was able to get was just one rental property. And that one still looked toe up. What are you going to do? You make your own decision. But for the rest of us, here's what I'm looking at. All right, let's get started with class. Let's talk about these prop firms, and then we'll talk about this election, and we'll be done. All right, here's what I'm looking at. Bring this on screen. First update. All right, here we go. Everybody ready? Type a yay. No. Type a 35 in the box if you're ready. Here we go. We finna talk. We finna talk. Okay, about business, about Forex, about trading. First of all, I don't know who saw my video yesterday. I was calling the markets as it was going. And what was fascinating about these markets is because the markets had already called the presidency before it actually happened. I was watching this, and here's where this was the line drawn, where it was broken right here. See that? See that support? See? Support came up and boom. All right. So that was the line. Right here, it became resistance. Boom, broke through, bounced down, became support, and skyrocketed off there. This all happened during the presidential election last night. So I told my wife, I said, I think that the markets have already decided the presidency long before they started calling it. So I'm in my head, I'm saying, oh my God, in the future, I wish I would have known what state that they called it because it was immediate. As soon as one of those states, and it wasn't Pennsylvania, one of those, see, same thing here. Here's the US 30, same thing. All right, let's put the line. That was the line right there. See that? Resistance, 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 resistance. Came right here, broke through, came support, and it fired off. And remember, I even put into the in one of the groups, I said, dang, what just happened? One of the states got called early, long before all the rest of them. And I said they must have figured out, okay, he's going to be the president. And so that is what happened. The market started celebrating ahead of time, hours and hours and hours before the states start being called. The markets, the businesses, your employers got excited. That's what happened. Okay. Crazy. Here's something I didn't. Ooh, this was wild. Look at this. I showed my wife this. I said, oh my God, look at that. They dumped the euro. Dumped. The same time these markets shot up, they dumped it. T.O., you said you noticed it too? Yeah. Told you I ain't the only one. I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Let's look at the dollar. See? I tell my team all the time, people vote with their dollars. Look at that. They vote with their dollars. Look at that. The markets knew well in advance who was going to be president. They were celebrating. Okay. However, some people say, well, yeah, they celebrating because they finna get tax cuts and for the wealthy and this and that. Let's talk about that today. All right. So let's hurry up and get to this and then let's get into this presidency because I got questions to ask you guys. All right. So here's what I asked you guys to do as a homework assignment, and only two people, maybe three, responded. So see, this is what I'm talking about. I'm trying to bless y'all, but y'all don't be helping out. Y'all don't even be helping out. All right. So here's what I asked. I said, hey, find me some prop firms that allow copy trading. So here's an update. I have been fussing with Funding Trader all week long. I got a contact there, Benjamin, and he's a nice guy. We had a one-on-one meeting and everything else. And so here's the good news and the bad. Okay. This is why you got to be here to hear this. All right. So with Funding Trader, and this is just my opinion, do your own homework. They're great. Stan and his company is great for everything but the US 30 copier. Because with the US 30 copier, at any given time, we can do some martingale trades. Martingale, for those who don't know, that means you open in multiple positions because you know exactly where this thing is going to go. So if it pulls back a little bit, and then it fires off in all the positions won. That's why one of the people in our group, I posted his results. He said, man, hey, I just passed my prop firm challenge in one day on the US 30 copier. And that was last week, right? So if you're using like Blue Guardian and some of these others, which I'm going to look at the few that was sent in, there was three of them that was sent in. The rest of y'all ain't no good at all. I asked you for your help and you ain't help my brother out. But anyway, here's the point. The point is that with Blue Guardian, which I do have some accounts within myself, they have very relaxed rules when it comes to copying and trading styles and this and that. But Funding Trader, they don't allow opening martingale trading. Okay, let me just give it to you like that. So maybe one or two positions is fine, but if you open up more than that, they will have some issue with that. Okay, so it's called the consistency rule. Write that down in your notes. Consistency rule. So the US 30 can make you a ton of money, but the trading style that it is using martingale strategy, okay, martingale strategy. So if that is the case, it will not work with a company that says they don't like it won't work with a company that says they have consistency rules. Okay, consistency meaning that you can only open a certain number of positions at any given time on one asset. Everybody clear on that? Okay, if you're clear on that, type of 45. I want to make sure you guys are hearing me. So any kind of trading, such as with gold, which only happens to use only 1 to 2 trades at any given time, which by the way, why have we have not traded gold and much on the US 30 this week? Well, because tomorrow is, you thought the presidency was a big news. Now we also have Fed interest rates tomorrow. So the team said, hey, we don't feel comfortable trading with, and I'll show you gold for an example. You'll see this. Okay. Look at gold. See, it's reacting to the presidential news. So it's not common practice. It's not behaving like normal. Okay. It's not behaving like normal. And because it's not behaving like normal, so Golden Boy said, no, I'd rather wait until after all this news passed to protect everybody's account. So for those who ask, hey, did we get any gold trades? No, he's waiting for news. Again, he's more disciplined than most of you guys, which is what make him good. Same thing with Miss Jenny. Okay. Everybody clear? So when it comes to the US 30 and it comes to gold, nothing's wrong with your copier. They're waiting until after tomorrow's news. So we had the big presidential election, and you see how that ripped the markets up. Then tomorrow you got the Fed interest rate. So we got to wait until all that hurricane news pass, and then we get back into the markets. Okay, everybody clear on that? Everybody clear on that? Type clear so I know that you guys are following me. Type clear. Okay. That's why we haven't done a lot of trades this week. No need to wreck our reputation as just putting money into people's pockets. Now, on the Forex side, it's different because guess what? We can see what's happening with the Forex side. It doesn't, it reacts differently to news. So we were able to get in and get out on short trades. And then Dr. Elvis did an amazing job last night trading the news because of his style. He is a news trader. He knows how to trade the news. So therefore, that's why he did incredible, just smashed the markets. Okay. Smashed them. Last night alone, I think he did about 200 pips in trades. So in Forex, so those who don't have the Forex copier, you missed out on 200 pips worth of trades in one day because he is a news trader. He loves trading news. Okay. But me and the rest of the team, we don't like trading news. Okay. We don't like it. All right. That's not our expertise. So we stay in our lane. So the point is this. Yeah. Yeah. Trump won. Crypto CC. Yeah, he won. So anyway, the point is this. So when it comes to the Forex side, because we're taking one trades at a time, when it comes to gold, you're taking 1 to 2 trades at a time. Therefore, any prop firm is okay with that. Okay, as long as they allow copy trading, they're fine with that. But if you're doing martingale, meaning that you're opening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trades at the time, then that's a martingale or strategy basically, and then the thing pops up and all of those positions make you a ton of money. You'll make good money, but you don't want the prop firm to mess up your account saying, oh, that's against our rule. So funding trader will shut you down. Blue Guardian wouldn't. Okay, so you got to look for the consistency rule. So first of all, there's 2 things I'm looking for when I'm dealing with a prop firm. Number one, do you have that consistency rule? If you do, okay, that's fine. I can use you, but only for the Forex and gold copier. But if I'm using the US 30, I don't want to use you. I need to go to a more relaxed company like Blue Guardian that relaxes the rules. Okay, now here's some other information. Here's 3 more that was sent in to me. And again, I don't know. They were sent into me. And so I thank you guys who sent it in to me. I sent you an email. Thank you. So this one, Aqua funded. And you can also find these on Prop Firm Match. I sent you guys out a screenshot that Prop Firm Match sent out a big message about all the prop firms that are still using the MT5 trading platform as well. Remember I told you guys how I got for Trade Locker and all the rest. I'm using Trader Connect where I have to pay them a little fee. If you don't want to pay them a little fee, then go with the companies that offer the MT4 and MT5 because my copier works on the MT4 and MT5, and therefore you don't have to pay any extra money. Okay. Only if your broker or your prop firm doesn't offer the MT4 and MT5, then you would have to do that connector. And look at last week's class. I went over it. Then you have to use Traders Connect, and then you can connect your MT4 demo or MT5 demo to that Traders Connect, and then it will automatically communicate and duplicate the trades onto all whatever platform you use, DXTrade, Trade Locker, Match Trade, or whatever. Okay. But if you want to avoid that, then go with the brokers that offer the MT5, and you can find those on Prop Firm Match. All right. So here we go. This is what I was looking for. This one says, is copy trading allowed? We give traders the opportunity to manage multiple accounts. Copy trading is allowed at the client's, at our client's disposal, and only from personal accounts that are legally bound to the account holder. This is why what I do is make sure that your accounts, I make sure that my account, my master account that I'm copying from is, like I said, if I'm using Trader Connect, I'm going to use a demo account so that if they ask me, I can show them, hey, see, the demo account is in my name. Now, I didn't tell them that I got copied from somewhere else onto this demo account. I just had to show them that the demo account belongs to me. Okay, everybody clear on that? That was my workaround when I'm using Traders Connect. Okay, now some of them, they don't care about this either, but just in case, that's why was my workaround. What we allow, we copy trading between ACA funds, copy trading from funded to evaluation accounts, and watch this. Here's the key that I'm looking for. Okay, right here. Copy trading between Aqua funded account and an external account. That is the key that I'm looking for. That means I can use an outside account to copy onto this one. And that's why Traders Connect will work just fine. Okay. Because you can put your personal demo account that we are sending our trades to your demo, and then you connect your prop firm to that. So if they do ask, then you can show them proof, hey, this demo account belongs to me. And what happens is every time we send out trades, you're getting copied onto your demo account, whatever broker you want to use, MT4, MT5, PlexiTrade, CoinEx, whatever. Just open a free demo account, put it on Traders Connect. And then after that, you start adding these funded accounts underneath that, because the funded accounts are getting copied from where? The demo account, not from us. Everybody understood that? Oh, Devon, you said he'd use Aqua. Okay, I've never used them. That's cool. I'm gonna look into it. And then I got two more and we'll move it. Okay, everybody clear on that? So if you're going to use Traders Connect, that's the absolute easiest way. Open a demo account, put it on there. That demo account is in your name. Then when you add these funded accounts as the slave account or the follower or the receiver account, you're getting trades from us into your demo, and from your demo, it gets copied onto these. So if they ever ask, you just pull out your demo account. Hey, this is my demo account, and you can show proof because you signed up for it. No problem. There you go. All right, let's get to the next one. All right, here's another one. This is E8. This was sent in to me. This one said you can copy trades from or to your personal account and blah, 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 blah. You cannot copy trades or use the same trading idea between multiple E8 evaluations. Each evaluation must be done independently. So one at a time, basically. All right, last but not least, and then we're going to get into the politics because I want to talk about that and get y'all's thoughts. All right, quickly, here's one that I also never heard of, but this is very interesting. Okay, hopefully this is a legit company. So you guys do your homework on this one. I like this one the best, actually. Well, not the best, but I mean, they're on the top of my list. Okay. Teal said, do we need to get a VPS if we use Traders Connect? No, actually, that was another beautiful thing because, and I'm glad you brought that up, because here's the deal. When you get an account with Traders Connect, it's hosted on their site automatically. So you don't need to pay for a VPS. It's already hosted on their site. So you're actually saving money anyway. Y'all, let me make sure y'all heard what I said. If you do use Traders Connect, okay, and we do have a referral link. So if you want the referral link, just email us for it, superezforex@gmail.com, and I can send you that. But the truth of the matter is, if you're already paying for a monthly fee to a VPS, it will actually probably be smarter to actually go with Traders Connect because they only charge $10 per account. Okay, so if you're paying like $30 just for a VPS provider, that means you could have had 3 accounts with them. You understand what I'm saying? And it's already hosted on their site, so you don't need a VPS. Hello. See, I want you to make money. I'm not trying to have you guys overspend on money. Anywhere where you can save money, I want you to save the money. Everybody clear? Are you clear? So on my Traders Connect, I just actually opened another prop firm account. So I have my demo account, my master demo account, which is with CoinEx, just a free demo account. My trades are getting copied to my CoinEx demo account. And then on Traders Connect, as I showed you guys last week, you then connect all of your prop firm accounts underneath it. So this demo account is the master account, and all the ones underneath is what they call the slave accounts or the follower accounts. Okay, so when Dr. Elvis, Jenny, or whatever, when these trades come in, when Golden Boy send in trades, they come into my demo and then they drop right down into all of my prop firm accounts. So at any given time, if any of these prop firms say, hey, we need to see if this is your master account, I will show them proof that the demo account is mine. In addition to that, you're only paying $10 per account. So guess what? So I got 1 master and 3 demos. So how much am I paying a month? So if I do the math real quick, I want to make sure you guys are following me. How much am I paying? Kim got it first. Yes, I'm only paying $40 a month. Isn't that close to what you're already paying just for your VPS alone? See, ain't that the same price that some of y'all paying for your VPS alone? So I don't need a VPS if I'm using that. Again, this is why you come to Super Easy. You don't have to join us if you don't like us. That's fine. But this information that we talk about in here, you don't get this other places. Because they really don't care. In fact, to be honest with you guys, and I was really happy with this, I was really trying to convince funding traders to loosen up the rules on the martingale so that we can open it up to use them as one of the primary for the specifically for the US 30. They're good for gold and forex, but I wanted them for the US 30 as well. But that trading style they don't allow. But you know what the guy said to me? Because I'm very, very dogmatic in my comments. I'm very direct. He said, "You really care about those people, don't you?" I said, "Yeah, I do." I told him, "I don't need this." He said, "Well, have you considered our referral link?" I said, "I don't need your referral link." I said, "I'm not doing it to get referrals. I'm doing it because I want these people to succeed." So he saw my passion for you guys. I'm not playing around. I really want you guys to succeed. But digital real estate is the new way to go. Everybody clear on what I'm saying? Type a yes if you understand what I'm saying. Come on now, talk to me. I'm trying to get every one of you to go with me in the direction where I'm already going there. I'm trying to bring you with me. When I did real estate, I did a free seminar in California. It was standing room only. I brought in brokers, loan officers, and everything else. And I was a licensed agent. I could have gotten a cut of all of that. I wanted nothing. I just wanted the people to be able to get their first home. Because I knew first-time homebuyers didn't know what they were looking for. So I gave a free seminar and I pulled out a Monopoly board and I taught people how to do real estate just simply using a Monopoly board, and it was standing room only. And I also paid for the food for the people to be there. So I fed them lunch, provided them with resources so that after I got done with the free seminar, that they can go in and talk to anybody who they wanted to. And I never asked for a penny. Same thing here. I'm not doing this because I need a referral link. Although we do have one, I don't use it. I wasn't doing it for that. I just want you guys to prosper so that you can actually get away from this stuff and actually have money coming in and follow your dreams. Everybody clear on what I'm saying? Passive income is the way to go. She said, "What is digital real estate?" Making money online. Making money online. Making money online. What's the fastest way to make money online? It ain't trying to do drop shipping and all that other stuff. You got a large learning curve. It's just being copied on trades. Set up your copier and sit back and let the money come in. That's rent. Okay. And then I use OPM, other people's money, which is prop firms. That's why I'm using them. And the more prop firm accounts I have going, just imagine you have 10 prop firm accounts, just receiving even $100 a day on each one of your prop firm accounts, and you got 10 of them. That's $1,000 a day in real estate money. 1,000 a day times how many days of trading? 25. How much money are you making a month? Type, 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 type. I want this to drop in your head. Okay. Anybody got it yet? There you go. Kim, you don't enough. Add a zero. There you go, Monica. 25K a month. And you paying how much to get for the copier? You tell me you can't walk away from your job with something like that? And how many trades are you personally taking? None. None. Now, do you see why I said digital real estate or making money online is the way to go? You don't have to make a lot every day. Just $100 a day will do it. And every time you pass a prop firm, open another one. Put it on Traders Connect. Pass it, put another one. Traders Connect. And you just keep letting them stack up. And all these prop firm accounts are all listed up under there, unlimited, because Traders Connect don't have a limit. So you can have 10 to 20 of them. Like Dr. Elvis, he has 50 accounts. I talked to him the other day. He said, I just make a little bit every day. And you cross that past 50 accounts, you can see why he don't worry about money. You understand what I'm saying? Let me do this last thing and then we're getting into politics. Here we go. $50 a day times 50 accounts. That's $2,500 a day. Okay. Times 5 days a week. That's 12,000. And you times that by 4 weeks in a month. How much is that? Off of just $50 a day. $50 times 50 accounts. Do you see? You don't need to make a lot of money. You don't need home runs every day. Um, so she's asking about drawdown. Always go to the websites. They have their daily drawdown limits. That's the only thing you have to do is just set up the copier and look at what the daily drawdown limit is and always stay well beneath that. Well beneath that. Okay. Usually the drawdown limit is like 4 to 6% drawdown, daily drawdown. So you don't want to come close to that. That's the only reason why many of you guys are not passing now is because you're constantly getting too close to the daily drawdown. Let it roll and let it take time to grow. Don't be in a rush. Just set it and forget it. Okay. Set it and forget it. And then when you do pass one, take a portion of that, reinvest into another challenge, and just keep adding them on Traders Connect. Our trades come into your demo account on Traders Connect, and then they drop all of them down into each one of your prop firms. And once you pass a prop firm challenge, you just take out that demo. They'll give you a live account, plug that right back into the Traders Connect, and you keep it moving. Okay. Yeah, Blue Guardian does let you have drawdown protection as well. So there's a selector on there, and you can click drawdown protection. Okay. All right. All right. Enough of that stuff. That was good. Now let's get into some real stuff. I got some questions for you guys. Let me start with the most obvious, and here, we can just take hands, and I'm going to run through these, and we're just going to take hands because I want to hear from you guys. Let's have a family conversation. Now, please be respectful. Please be respectful, because again, some people are extremely happy, and some people are pissed beyond measure. Okay, so I want to be very sensitive to this situation because people take their politics very serious. All right, so here we go. So the first question is, did your person win? Okay, did your person win? Go ahead and raise your hands. Okay, all right, let's hear from, oh, Liz, I saw your hand. All right, Liz, go ahead.
Good
Liz.
morning, Uncle P.
Good morning, how are you?
All right, and you?
I'm good. Are you frustrated or are you happy with who the new president is?
Very happy.
Oh, yeah? Why?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Well, I am happy for President Trump because I worked directly under him for many years with immigration and customs enforcement.
Oh, so you was border control.
Yes, sir.
Wow, I knew you was in the military, but I didn't know you did that. Wow.
Yes, sir. I served in the military.
Yeah.
And right after I got out to military, I was picked up with immigration and customs enforcement.
I didn't know that, Liz, and I've known you for several
Yes,
years.
sir.
Wow. So based on what you saw personally, is that why you said, okay, we need a change?
Yes, sir, because many of the things that was said was not true about him because we know him from day to day. He constantly contacted the leaders of Border Patrol to make sure they had everything they needed to keep that border secure. And that's eyewitness. I saw that. I was down there. And so he took care of us. And that's what I appreciated about him. Everything he said he was going to do, he did. And so that's why I don't listen to a lot of the talk about him because I know exactly what he did.
Wow. Don't go nowhere, Liz. Anybody on the opposing side who was with Kamala Harris who thought she did a better job? Anybody? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. We're just talking. Anybody? Anybody wanted Kamala to be the president? I know everybody in here ain't go for Trump. Well, I guess they did. Ain't nobody raising their hand for them. Somebody said neither. Okay, all right, all right. Anybody else have any comment? Don't go nowhere. Let's stay right there. I got some questions for you too.
Okay.
Anybody got a comment about this? I want to hear from you guys. Okay, come on. Here we go. We got Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff. Raise your hand. Unmute yourself.
What's going on, Uncle P?
All right, how are you, Jeff? Good, good. What's your thought?
My name is Justin, man. I don't know what it's saying on the thing.
Oh,
But,
okay. Yeah, say Jeff.
I'm happy with the selection today too. But I just want to tell you, man, thank you for everything you're doing. I'm sorry to hear about your situation you talked about at the beginning of class.
Yeah, man.
I'm a fireman down in South Florida. I kind of fallen off after a bunch of the storms and stuff down here, man. But I just want you to let you know, thank you for everything you're doing, man, from the bottom of my heart. So
Appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
have a good day, boss.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Jeff. Guys, uh, thank you, Jeff, for that. Any other comments? I got something I want to say to you guys, but I think I'm gonna hold that for a second. Anybody else? Open mic. Go ahead and raise your hand. Open mic. What's your thoughts on this presidency? So we have a border control and we have a firefighter. Anybody else? Boy, Liz, I think they're scared, huh? Okay, we got Crypto CC. Go ahead and unmute. And somebody said that he sucks. Okay.
No, I thought he sucked when all the problems came there and people got killed in the White House in the last presidency of Trump. But I hope he stops the war here in the Middle East. I hope it's close to Greece where I am, and I hope.
Oh, I didn't know you was in Greece. Okay.
Yeah, Greece. Come to visit in the summer.
It's funny because you know what I told my wife. I had promised her that I was going to take her to Santorini.
Oh, come.
I want to, but she don't want the flight. She said it's too long. She don't like long flights.
Come with the ship.
Yeah, I want to take her to Santorini. So yeah, but okay. So I knew you was here, but I didn't know you was in Greece. So you said the war is coming close to where you guys are.
Yeah. Very close. It's gonna, if Iran steps in front with weapons, nuclear weapons, will be the third world war. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I hope he stops. I thought he didn't like the wars. I hope.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for
Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else? Real quick. Anybody else? Come on, share your thoughts. Get it out your system. Derek said that Ukraine is about to take over. Okay. All right. Go ahead and unmute. I don't see your name. Well, Cam.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Good. What's your thoughts?
I mean, for me, to be honest with you, I didn't really care either way. I know that sounds crazy for some people, but for me, I remember traditional politics and watching Donald Trump as how he was campaigning. It just took away from what's called being presidential. And to me, Donald Trump didn't appear to be a presidential candidate. And I think that's the only thing that I took away that I did not like, that I observed. I liked, let's look at past presidents, for example. Let's look at Mitt Romney, presidential candidates. Let's look at Mitt Romney, John McCain, Barack Obama. You had George W. Bush, and you had Bill Clinton, et cetera, and so forth. These guys carried themselves in a different way. Now, Donald Trump is a different person, but I want you to think of something. If Donald Trump was not rich or famous, would he be allowed to, would he be allowed to act in a certain way that no other presidential candidate can get away with? So even though he became president, that's fine. I believe there's good and bad in every president. I believe Donald Trump will bring some good things towards the presidency. But I just feel that when you're applying for a job like the presidency, there's a way that you should carry yourself. That's the only thing that I dislike. I disliked the way our politics became. Just to win, I shouldn't have to bash people in order to get up to the top. That's basically it. I mean, that's the only thing that I had against the entire race. I completely stopped watching politics because I didn't like what I saw anymore. It was no longer it was no longer a classy conversation.
Yeah,
It became name calling and so forth. And for me, it just took away from it. So it's no longer fun watching it. I think it's gonna still be a divide. But if Donald Trump was not rich or famous, he would have never became the president. And that's one of the biggest takeaways that I took away from the election. Both times, if he was not rich, we would have not even given him the opportunity to get to that level.
that's right.
And that's just my honest opinion. That's just how I see it.
All right, we got some more coming in now. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. All right, check this out, you guys. Before we move on, let me say this to you. Do you see the power of money? This is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. When you find a way to bring in resources, you gain confidence to do things that normal people normally wouldn't do. Why? Because I ain't got to beg nobody for nothing. I can do what I want to do. Now, in his situation, he's using his arrogance, which I agree with the last caller. He's using his arrogance, but why? Because I can afford to do that. I don't need y'all. Like he said, he was actually telling the truth. He said, I don't need this. Truth Social, if you look at what the stock is, the man just made, again, listen to what I'm saying, digital real estate. I was talking to PJ and I said, son, look at what he did. They took him to court and tried to financially break him, but he created the Truth Social, which went on the stock market exchange. That thing blew up and made him way more money faster than any of his real estate deals. So on one hand, they're trying to drain him, but on the other hand, he made so much money where? Not in physical real estate, which is what the New York case was about. He made it in what? Digital real estate, online. Everybody understand what I'm saying? This is where I'm trying to take you guys. I'm trying to take you so that you can come to these markets and make a boatload of money. All right, let me get to Luke. Luke, you're up next. Liz, don't go nowhere. Liz, you got a minute?
Oh, sure. I wouldn't miss it for nothing.
Okay, thank you. And then we got Derek. Derek, I see you. Any other hands? Keep on raising them. All right, Luke, go right ahead.
Hey, how's it going, bro?
All right, what's happening? This is Luke 23. Okay, Bible verse. Yeah, hey, what's up with you?
Well, I'm just, how should I say, I'm skeptical about the whole thing.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, if you look at all the mistakes that the Democrats made, these last few years, one, in their policy, and two, in their attempts to trap Trump. It's like it all seems so orchestrated because I don't know, it's like it's mistakes that it's like, are you serious? You seriously gonna do that? It's like everything seems orchestrated. And if you look throughout history, I mean, it's all orchestrated. Look what happened to Pearl Harbor. I mean, you can't tell me that the military didn't see the Chinese vessels coming up on it. Same thing with the Gulf of Tonkin incident. I mean, and then look what happened in Iraq, Afghanistan. It's all orchestrated. I mean, I did vote for him, but like I said, these guys, they all cover each other, and they do at times sacrifice the one for the benefit of the many. So they can all cover themselves. Like, look what happened in Chicago with that one cat that tried to steal Obama's seat. Now, how many secrets do you think that he had to tell after Trump pardoned him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
And I mean, I don't know. I'm still kind of looking to see what's gonna happen. I mean, look what happened with all the riots and everything like that. People were blinded by thinking that it was a race riot and things like that. No, it's not. It's a civil war.
Wow.
You look at all the supporters that Kamala had going to her rallies. They were tracking the cell phones of all these people, and there was BLM and Antifa. They were being bus routed to follow her in all her rallies, and they were being paid too. It's all orchestrated. I don't think it's over yet. I think there's gonna be some more mess coming out.
We're gonna see, aren't we?
Yep.
All right. Thank you for sharing. All right. Let me get to Derek. That's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Cool. Let's get to Derek. Derek, go ahead and unmute.
Good morning, Uncle P. How you doing?
What's up, D Money?
Hey, man.
What you thought?
Yeah, you got a lot of people like down here where I'm at. They're very disgusted, but I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep it 100. Everybody gonna hear this. Democrats just weak, man. Trump just brought he brought it, man. He pulled votes from areas that he outperformed because he was getting the message out, about the economy and stuff like that. And then here in Michigan, you had the people that didn't like the war going on in Gaza. They voted uncommitted. Some voted for him. And a lot of people like, entrepreneurs like us or whatever, a lot of them, even in the neighborhood, in the hood, they supported him. So,
That's
it's a lot of.
I'm sorry for interrupting, but I want you to specifically answer this. As a black man, I know that the Democrats were both sides were trying to heavily go after the black vote. So why do you think more black young men went over to Republican side than the Democrats, like the Democrats thought would happen? What do you think happened there?
Because the Democrats been taking black votes for advantage over years. They didn't want to be into the black people interest until like it's time for election. We need your support, but you ain't did nothing. So people got tired of it, and that's the part they like. You always come to us to save y'all. But you're not trying to do nothing in the neighborhood. And Trump, he said his stuff or whatever, but he was just plain and clear, he wasn't soft, you know what I'm saying? And this country is finna get ready to tilt in a way you ain't seen for over 200 years. 200 years. So it's finna be some stuff going on because like you told us back in the in the pandemic. Now all that money that was spent, all that, you living high on the hog or whatever, that's gone now. Now you're gonna have to really make some choices or whatever. Like you said, you should have been investing and doing what you gotta do. Now the pain is finna come. So can't nobody get mad but yourself because you have people like, hey man, this guy, he run his mouth or whatever, but he's in my best interest. Yeah. The cost of living high, groceries high. You got these people coming across the border. They doing these Uber, Lyft, all this DoorDash, them can't even speak English. They want to steal the customers' groceries and items and stuff. And people just got mad. They like, forget it, man. So that's why they did it, because this is just going to be a message to the Democrats, because Democrats got to trying to take advantage of the black vote, and people got tired of it. You ain't been doing nothing all of a sudden. We want to come and save you every election. Because how I felt, Biden should have stayed in. Kamala, Biden should have stayed in because it wouldn't make a difference anyhow. Let the cards fall what they lay. But the chickens is coming home to roost, and people better be ready for these 4 years. And like how you talking about doing the prop firms and all of that, even people with the prop firms saying this is the best opportunity now. You better get that money while he become president these 4 years, because it's going to be a very bumpy ride. And it's just a lesson to be learned from people. Quit trying to live off the system. Invest in yourself and get the knowledge and everything you need. Stop doing that, because now the tide has changed now.
Wait till y'all hear my final comments. All right. Thank you very much. I got to get to the next one. Thank you, D. Good stuff. This is good stuff. Donna, you see, I told you this is me. This is me. Okay. This is me. Michael, no, we're holding off because, again, tomorrow's the Fed interest rate announcement. So we're actually just covering this at the moment because, like I said, nobody wants to trade this kind of stuff because you've seen how the markets went nuts over the presidential election. But tomorrow is the Fed interest rate. So we're really not looking for setups at the moment. Okay. All right. So let's get on to the next hand. I got Charlotte. Charlotte, go ahead and unmute. I told you guys, this is actually my calling. This is me. I can do this all day. All right, Charlotte, go right ahead. What's your thoughts?
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I am a true Democratic, proud to be a Democratic. I'm coming from a totally different prospect.
Okay.
Sure. I've had a miscarriage, which would have been called a aborted thing, but it was something that my body did.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
probably wouldn't be here right now. I'll be among the other ones that died
yeah.
because of I guess my health or whatever. But right now, I feel like everybody's gonna be in for a big surprise. I I was a volunteer, so I got to see a lot of stuff and
Mhm.
hear a lot of stuff. And I feel like there's gonna be some big surprises at the end for those, even the ones that did vote for Trump, our young people. Trump to me is out for Trump. He has the money. We're poor here, and the middle class and everything like that. I've been there. I'm there right now,
Yeah.
and I just feel like everybody in the end is gonna get a big surprise in what's happening. The Republican had the majority of the House. So they're the ones who made a lot of the votes, and the Democrats, to me, are being blamed for stuff that actually Trump set up even when he was in or when he ended his term. I feel like he had a chance. He had his turn, and they even tried to get rid of him a couple of times before, and then now to vote him back. I don't believe that it should have happened, but we will see in the future.
And I'm
You know,
glad you Brad, because I have a question for you. Two questions for you. Number one, do you think that the Democrats lost because they was running just too heavily on the subject of women's reproductive rights and not about other things? Do you think that's why they didn't win?
no, I
Okay.
feel like they a lot of it too is because of her being a woman. Just
Okay.
the young man said, if and my husband even said it too. Um, we've had some issues here at the home because he was kind of rooting for Trump, and I called him a male chauvinist pig. I feel
Mhm.
like they weren't ready or didn't want a woman to be in control. But there's other countries that have had women, but they always said that there would be a woman, but because of the in religion, as far as the male being at the top, I
Mhm.
do agree with that. And she has a husband that I'm sure he's the head of her home, but I feel like that played a large part of it. Some men did not want a woman to be in charge or whatever, but to put with everything that Donald Trump has put us through and everything that he is basically, going through himself, the whole world seen what he did, and that to me it that played a lot on my mind as far as what has happened to re-elect him after everything we've gone through with him. And the
Let me,
world seen it, and that's where my heart is. You
sure.
know,
I got
I
another question for you
I,
because I got to get to, we're running
I
low on time, but I want to get to these other hands. Can I ask you another question?
um
Okay, here's my second question to you. One of the things that was constantly talked about during the election is women's reproductive rights. And thank you for sharing your story. My question to you is, uh, would it have been better for the federal government to say what happens, or should it have been moved to the states so that each individual state and the people of that state can vote for themselves what they wanted, which is where it is now? What do you think would have been better?
I think with the states instead of the states would have been better, but too with the social security and all of that. I mean, I'm a lupus survivor, and with them, trying to tell me what I could or could not do with my body, I feel like it should be the woman's choice to be able to decide, due to health issues, due to, I guess, rape or whatever things that happen. um, a woman should have the right over her own body. They're not telling the men what to do with their bodies,
Right.
So that's my thought.
I
And
got
I mean, I think, you know what you said before, one of each, one, to be the president, one of each.
Yeah.
you know,
That's
together.
what
That I love that. And I have been telling people that from the class, not Democrat and not Republican, but all together.
Yep.
You know, one of each.
Yep.
So that was a beautiful something there.
Well,
And
thank you.
I really, that's what I think. And they to me should be really no Democrat and Republican. It should be whatever's the issue, and people vote on whatever the issue and come together instead of all this fight left, right, Democrat, Republican. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You
All right.
know. So
Well, this
thank you
next
for letting me speak. Thank you.
Oh,
Love
very.
you.
Thank you. Love you, sis. Thank you very much. Liz, what's your thoughts on, as a woman, on reproductive rights? Do you think that the states should have the right to let everybody who is in each individual state vote for it, or should there just be a general government mandate on this? What do you think as a woman?
Yes, I looked at that, and with the conviction that I have across the board, everybody has a right to decide what they do with their own body, number one. I believe it should be across the board a decision made, because life is precious, given by God, and that life is here for a reason. Now, if there's issues with the woman where, like the lady said, you know, there was problems, that's okay. I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to stand on business and on truth, I have to be the voice for the unborn.
Yeah. Gotcha.
That's my conviction on it. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here.
Yep.
You know, and so that's my thing on that.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, Liz.
Okay.
You are. Thank you. All right, cool. Anybody else real quick before I get to my final points? Any other hands? Any other comments? Anybody else? Because I'm gonna bring some fire. Y'all might not like me when I'm done, but I'm gonna bring some points to just make you think. Okay, go ahead. You can raise your hand again, and I don't see the name, but go ahead and unmute.
Hey, this is me again. So just a few things that I heard. So one of the things I wanted to say is that I don't think black voters did not move over to the Republican Party. What they were pro-Trump. So that's a clear distinction, because those that are actually Republicans and conservatives, by the way, traditional conservatives, many of them, they walked away from Trump. Because the truth is, Donald Trump is not as conservative. The things that Republicans used to talk about, they don't talk about anymore. The people that used to come up on stage, they don't come up on stage. One of the things I noticed about the Republican National Convention, former presidents didn't speak. Former people who ran for the Republican Party weren't even present. People, to me, what gets to me is the people that are around you and closest to you, when they walk away from you, that tells me a lot. Let me tell you why. See, in front of the camera, I can be anything. In front of the camera, I can be anybody I want to be. As a master marketer, I can be anything for anybody. As an actor, as a salesperson, I can be anything. The truth is, those who come closest to me, you ever seen like a famous person who everyone admires and his kids say something completely different about him? And it surprises everyone. Oh, he was abusive, he was this and that. And we cannot believe that this is that person, because what we saw was what we loved on television. Everybody from Trump's first term, I mean, I think he had the most people that either quit or got fired from his first term. He only had 4.5 years, the first term, and most of it was COVID. So if you think about it, within less than 4.5 years, his people that he selected walked away. The people closest to him left him and walked away. But everybody's enamored by him at first until they get close enough. See, once I get close enough, I see the guy for who he truly is. Everybody else, like myself, I'm okay with Donald Trump because he never, I don't know him. But when I get closest to you, that's when I know exactly who you are as a person. So I just think that Trump is a master marketer. One of the things I realized about this election cycle that I dislike, he took no tough interviews. He only wanted to do the cupcake interviews. And I hated that, because it's easy to sit down in front of Joe Rogan who's going to give you, who's just going to have a conversation with you, but not really push back at you. Kamala, what I liked, at least she went on Fox News. She took that tough interview. Donald Trump, if you didn't like the first debate because you did not like ABC, okay, fine. Have a second debate and choose to have it on Fox News. Like you choose the parameters, and I believe she would have showed up. But the thing about a debate, it lets me know who you are. I asked some of my Trump friends, listen, tell me what he stands for. A lot of people could not say what he talked about this election cycle. A lot of people could not tell me, and that was an issue for me. You have to let me know what this guy's about beyond the slogan. Make America great. America is great. Once you travel the world, America is great. So the slogan is just, it's fun, but it's just a slogan. But one of the things I wanted to say about reproductive rights, the Democrats, it was not the number one, it was not the number one issue on the minds of the people. So I believe part of why they did lose is because their focus was on issues that I think Kamala felt that women would have wanted to hear about. And they went after the female vote. And I think a lot of the female vote went for Donald Trump. Because when the price of gas is up and prices are gouged at the counters, a lot of issues that we think people should care about, it's not a focus. When Barack Obama was president and he walked in and he inherited George W. Bush's economy, for example, how could he think about, oh, I'm going to do this for Black people? The economy wasn't fixed. I'm not doing anything for just one group of people. He used to say a rising tide raises all boats. I have to make sure the entire country is good before we can start talking about, oh, I'm going to help this group, this group, this group. You understand what I'm saying? So I think they shot themselves in the foot, but they'll live to see another day.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. All right. Let me get to Kurt. Kurt, go ahead and unmute. This is good stuff, y'all. Good stuff. And then Luke. Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. I just believe that the Democrats and Kamala, they just went too hard on the social issues and not the economy and immigration. And I believe the immigration was a big factor, and they just they played that card terribly. I don't know why they didn't, continue the executive order and he waited till like year 4 and try to pass the bill, which was so stupid to me. And it seemed like and the way she answered the questions, taking those interviews like Fox and she still didn't even answer the questions properly, to be honest. She said a whole bunch of nothing. So it doesn't even matter what interview she went on. She just rambled about foolishness. So the American people really was focused about the money and immigration, and the Democrats seemed like they didn't really care. Like they wanted to just pacify it and talk about women abortion rights and things like that when the people really care about their money. That's really what we hear in America for, is about the money. People leave other countries to come to America to make money. Not to worry about, abortion rights and things like that. We came here to buy homes, make money, send it back home, and that's what the Democrats just seem like they just didn't really focus on. They just really just want to make everybody feel good and take care of immigrants and all that thing, but that's not why we came to America for. America is a business first, to be honest. If you want to keep it 100.
All right.
And people, when people energy bill goes from $200 to $400, they really don't care about you going to getting your abortion pills paid for by the government. Because that's really what it is. It's not just about that. They want to help pay for the pills. They want to help pay for contraceptives. They want the government to help pay high school kids to use contraceptives and all this foolishness and all this going to school and changing and transgender this and transgender that. People, after a while they get fed up with that trash, to be honest. So, Republicans, Trump, even though you don't like who he is and all that, the American people was like, yeah, I'm done with the Democrats and their foolishness. Because you only could go far left for so long, to be honest. And after a while, you push people buttons. Like it's cool to get rights for transgender and all this, but after a while, it's like, all right, good. You had it with Obama, you have it with Biden, and now let's get back to the money.
All right,
let's get back to the money. Let's really get back to the money.
Thank you. Let me get to these other hands. Who are these hands? They're coming up now. All right, Luke 23, go right ahead again.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, as far as the whole abortion thing, to me, I mean, I understand the whole thing about, the incest or the rape and everything like that, but to me, it doesn't make sense because the whole idea of bringing immigrants over is because we're not populating enough to fill jobs. And it's like, if that's the issue, why are you going to push women to have abortions? Like, oh, it's your right, it's your right. And it's like, it's destroying the whole the idea of the family unit, you know?
Somebody
And
else too. I heard that same argument brought up. You helping people to kill babies, but on the other hand, you bringing people in saying we need more people. So, that's what I heard another person say. Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Got it.
and not only that, but also it's a source of income for the powers that be. I mean, there's all kinds of videos where they have heads of the abortion clinics where they're selling the baby parts and everything. I mean, all of that is documented. And then the whole thing about the immigration too, which lets you know that they really don't care about kids. Not too long ago, DHS just released a document stating that Biden-Harris administration lost over 325,000 children. And it's like, I mean, you care about these immigrants, but where are these kids going? You know, where are they at?
All
And
right.
then there's whistleblowers coming out like Tara Rodas, where she was forced to give these children to people that weren't vetted, people that had no relation to the children. I mean, it's crazy what's going on nowadays. I mean,
Okay. Let me get to. I'm running out of time, and I gotta get to my points. Let y'all go. Thank you for sharing, man. That's stuff right there. That's somebody doing their homework. All right, Liz, I'll let you be the last one because I got to do my points. I'm gonna open y'all's eyes on some things, and then we're gonna go ahead and dismiss. We're well over time. Liz, go ahead and unmute.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you. I would like to add, which I always wanted to say from the beginning, is we voted for our person that we wanted to be president, but it's not over, because I feel we have to hold them accountable now. You said that you promised these points when you ran, but I am not going to get off your butt. You are going to do exactly what you said you're going to do, because we're the other half of that. Your service to us. So I'm going to hold you accountable for the promises. And so I think it shouldn't be from every 4 years, go and vote, and now it's over. It's for the voters. I mean, the voters have a responsibility to hold their representative accountable throughout the 4 years.
That's right.
You know, with the platforms and things that we are allowed to voice, take a stand when stuff is done right. And if an elected official is not doing right, where are we?
Yes.
It's not every 4 years. So I'm geared up now to hold President Trump accountable for as long as he's going to be in office. And I just wanted to add that, that just came into my heart. So don't give up now. You're needed. You're here for such a time as this. They need to hear from us for the whole 4 years, and that may keep them honest,
All right. Well, thank
okay,
you.
that's all I wanted to say.
All right, guys, I got to get to my point. I want you guys to take notes. Everybody pull out some pens, pull out something to write with. I'm going to walk you through what I believe actually happened. Okay. What I believe actually happened as to why this thing went the way it did. For you guys, because you're trading in the markets, I want you to hear what I'm going to teach you so that you'll understand economics better and as to why the markets went haywire even before half of the elections votes that came in. There was something they heard that made them happy enough so that the markets halfway through the election, they just fired off and shot straight on up. And it's, as you can still see, the markets are still celebrating. Okay. The markets are still celebrating even at this moment. What actually happened? Here's some perspectives I'm going to give you guys so that in the future, you'll kind of see, and you don't have to agree. It's not about agreeing. It's about learning what is going on behind the scenes. Okay. I told you guys in advance. I told you when I was working for Bank of America and I was managing all of their property portfolio all across the entire United States. Me and my team, we managed all of their property portfolio during the financial crisis when the real estate market collapsed. All these properties started coming into the bank's portfolios, being repossessed and everything else. They still had to be maintained. So that's what I did for Bank of America. Okay. I know I'm a ghetto dude with a baseball hat, but I do have a brain. Okay. And I work directly with the president and vice president of the Bank of America property portfolio. I work directly under them, reported to the president and vice president of Bank of America's property portfolio. That's what I work with. The vice president was an Asian guy, and he taught me how to hire people because we had to hire people and I was in charge of India, Texas, and California. Okay. And he was a cool dude. He liked to party. The vice president, he just liked to party. So when he trusted me enough, he taught me how to interview people based on, watch this, not what he liked about them, but what the bank needed from people. Type a 2 in the box to make sure you guys are following what I'm about to teach you, okay? Because I'm going to show you what actually happened, in my opinion, okay? All right, watch this. I'm going to go according to my bullet points. I was just brainstorming, but I'm going to do them. They're not going to be in order, so just play along with me as I go back and forth, all right? So number one, let's talk about the war that actually happened between Putin and with Ukraine. How did that actually happen? All right. Here's what people in business saw. Business, not whether you like Trump or didn't like him. In business, here's what was said that a lot of people got so emotional into his antics or into Kamala Harris' women's right, and to these particular points go right. Nobody pays no attention to it, and nobody thinks about it. Nobody talks about how did we get here. Here's the first problem. Okay. Remember, you heard about the Keystone Pipeline. Under Trump, that was cut. Because it was cut, you have to have money in order to finance a war that you want to start. Do everybody agree to that? Type a 5 in the box if you agree. You can't go to war if you broke. Everybody understand this? Take your political red or blue hat off for a minute, and I'm gonna give you guys some points to think from business perspective as to what happened. If a country is broke, they cannot afford to go to war. So under President Trump, that was one of the things that he did masterfully, was keeping other countries broke, making them pay. You kept hearing about the rich need to pay their fair share. You remember that term? What he was making these other wealthy countries who are eating off of us at no cost to them, he started making them pay their, watch this, fair share. Okay. When he started doing that, everybody started complaining, saying, oh, he's a tyrant and this and that. But if we're talking about the rich having to pay their fair share, then all the countries who's benefiting from our protection and everything else, shouldn't they be paying their fair share if they got money? Of course they should. That's what he forced happen. So one of the problems was that the Keystone Pipeline, he did not allow it to go through. Notice there was no war from Russia. The moment Biden went into office, and again, I'm not for Biden, I'm not for Trump, I'm just telling you facts to help you understand what actually happened behind the scenes as to why people are celebrating quietly behind the scenes. And it's not because they like Trump sometimes. And then one of the callers said that. Watch this. The moment Biden went into office, one of the first things that he did was authorize the Keystone Pipeline. Guess who benefited from the oil or the Keystone Pipeline? Who do you think benefited from it? As soon as he signed it in, who do you think benefited from it? Come on, type. Think like business people, not get out of your political hat, think business-wise. Who do you think benefited from the Keystone Pipeline? Anybody? Come on, type. Any guess? Any guess is a good one. Any guess is a good one. I'm looking on YouTube, by the way. Hi, YouTube family. Russia, you got it. Russia. Now Russia has an infinite amount of money flowing into their pockets because he who controls the energy controls the money. So by cutting off the Keystone Pipeline, you cut off the finances. by authorizing to let this oil pipe go through into Russia, and Russia has control over it. And this is, I'm just paraphrasing, but do your research. But here's the point. You just authorized them to have an unlimited supply of money coming in because everybody needs oil. And those who have the most oil has most control. So now he has the finances to pay for his agenda. Thus, now he can afford to go to war with the country because he has unlimited supply of money coming in from where? The pipes, from oil. Had he had not, let me repeat that. If there was no Keystone Pipeline, do you think there would have been a war? Yes or no? Come on, talk to me. Don't give me political talk. We're business people. We're in a boardroom talking business. If he did not have oil coming in to make money off of it to sell to other countries, billions of dollars now just came into my pockets. I can afford to do whatever I want. But if I didn't have that pipeline, could I have afforded to do any of this? No. And therefore, we're talking about Ukraine. Watch this, and this is going to get worse, and you're going to see what act from a business perspective. Don't give me your Trump or Kamala Harris speech. We've talked about that enough. I'm going to make you guys think. Because this is what happened behind the scenes. This is why you're seeing the wealthy and the business people who think. You're looking at the markets on my screen as I speak. You're looking at the markets rejoice. Was it really about the Democrats or Republicans, or was it business? All right. So why are they celebrating? Think about this. The person who authorized the Keystone Pipeline authorized the death and I know he didn't mean to, but in essence, you're responsible for all the deaths that we see in Ukraine because you help finance it by authorizing something that should never have been authorized. Why would you authorize a deal with our enemy to give them unlimited supply of money through the oil that they export out because they got more than enough oil coming in and energy, and they can export it out and sell it to others. So now they got all this money coming in. I can afford to do whatever I want to do. And if I'm already a tyrant, I can afford to act like a tyrant. So you just help me pay for this war. Now we're at war. Watch this. Put your business hat on. Don't tell me about Trump or Kamala. Put your business hat on. Now here's where the problem comes in. Now you authorize them to get rich, and now the war has started. Guess where we coming in? Us, you and I, the working people. We're helping to finance the war again. You know why? Because billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars have been sent to Ukraine to defend itself from a decision you made. You created this problem, and now we, the people, are actually the people who's paying for it. Are you seeing why that's a problem? This is not a Republican or Democrat. This is leaders making bad decisions. And I don't care whether you were a Republican or a Democrat. Whoever makes these bad decisions, it comes at a cost. And now it's costing the U.S. billions and billions and billions of dollars because you made the decision that you just want to do something different because I don't like the predecessor, the guy who was before this, and I'm going to do something different. So I'm going to make a decision to cut this off without thinking what would be the consequence of giving authorization to an enemy who's crazy, and you just gave them all the money they need. You authorized the crazy man to have an unlimited supply of money. And what do you think crazy people going to do? Act crazy. Do you understand? Type of 45 if y'all are with me so far. I got more points because I got to get through each one of these. I'm giving you guys what real business people think. Because this was never even talked about. So this is why when I hear people talk, and they're valid points, but I say they're missing some parts of the story. And had you known this, would it have changed your mind on your political position? Because now you needed your money. You need your money, but your money, every time you pay your taxes, pay your fair share. Now do you understand why sometimes rich people don't want to pay taxes? Because they know I worked hard for my money. I'm running a company. I could use this money to expand my company and put food on the table for more employees versus I pay it to you and you send it over to finance a war that you started. And you want me to pay my fair share? What's fair about that? I pay you and then you go pay for the war that you started. No, I'll find a way to keep my money. Thank you very much. All right, let's get to another point. I already knew Something big is on its way. Look at this. Y'all seeing this breaking through resistance? See, the market is still rejoicing. Still. It's still going on. Okay. Now watch this. I knew something was wrong. I was talking to a guy, and he's a doctor. Has a doctorate degree and runs a nonprofit organization out of Atlanta. And I'll just call him Dr. Billy because his name is Billy, but he has a doctorate degree. So I was having a conversation with Dr. Billy, and who's a Democrat. Okay. And I was trying to explain to him, because you run a charity, you run your business off of needing people to give to you. And so we got into a conversation about Warren Buffett and this and that. And so he was saying, yeah, these rich people, and they doing this and that, and I don't know what they're doing. I said, if you ever want to know what's really going on in the world, always see what they do, not what they say. Do you know that Warren Buffett recently just sold billions and billions and billions of dollars of Apple shares and of Bank of America shares? What does he know? What does he know? This old guy knows something big and bad is on its way. The biggest concern is the people in the markets also felt it too. Now that you have this new president who is now, which I think, in my personal opinion, one of the mistakes by the Democratic Party is when it kept on coming up, what are you going to do to help stop this war? Not much was said. Okay. Now, I'll say on the other side, there wasn't much said on the Republican side either. But what was the difference then? If neither one said anything about stopping this war and preventing, here's what I would told my wife on the sideline. I said, baby, I really think that if this goes further the way we constantly are going now, I said, baby, I don't see how we're not going to end up in World War III. I really did not see. I don't see how we're not going to end up in World War III. Watch this. Here's the reason why. Neither one of the candidates really addressed the concern about how they were going to prevent the war. Am I correct on that? Type a 100 in the box if I'm correct so far. Again, I ain't a political dude, so I'm telling you facts. Okay. Neither one addressed it. However, if you had to search your heart and you say, truth be told, both of them never said anything about it. But in my mind, who would be the person who I want to step in to prevent World War III? Would it have been Kamala Harris, who was all about the social policies? Or is it this tyrant with the bad attitude that actually punks and scares the other nations? Because they know, okay, when he get in, guess what? We got a problem. We ain't going to be able to, you understand? Which one do you, if you had to vote just on that issue alone, whether you like the people or not, just off of the fact, who do you think could prevent the war? Who do you think would have done it? Your business. Don't tell me your political point. Don't tell me whether you like his antics or not. We already discussed that. You're business people. Your business. Because if we go to World War III, what will happen to your business? In fact, let me make it more personal. If we go to World War III and the business that you work at is impacted, what happens to your job? Let's make it personal. What would have happened to your job if we go to World War III? Because now more taxes are going to have to be paid to finance the war, but now we're pulled into the war. So now guess what? More money have to come from the people in the country to finance a war, which means if the businesses have to pay their quote unquote fair share, they're going to start cutting jobs. Anytime a business pays more in taxes, there's always job cuts. So the next time before you root for fair share, always say fair share, job cuts, fair share, job cuts, because they go hand in hand. My wife was showing me some of the biggest restaurants that have been around for a long time. They're filing for bankruptcy, including TGI Fridays. They're about to file for bankruptcy. Why? Paying your fair share means I got less money to pay to my staff. And if I file for bankruptcy, what do you think it's going to happen to people's jobs? Again, don't tell me your political position. I heard that. We're talking business. You're a business owner. What happens? And if we go to war, less people are going to be spending money at these places that you guys work at. And if more people spend less because they're starting to hoard up because now we're at war, what do you think is going to happen to your job? See, none of this was discussed. This is why I wish I was running for president, because I would have brought this stuff up. Whether you vote for me or not, at least I could have told people this is the way to think of things. You go to war, ain't nobody gonna sit there and want to sit at the steak dinner every weekend no more. They're going to be trying to buy toilet paper and deodorant and stock up because they don't know where shipments are going to come in at. And we're going to have a problem because what? We're at war, World War III. Jobs will be lost. Let's keep going. Let me see. Okay, here's another point that I want you guys to look at. Okay. And again, you're just business people. We're just business. Okay. Business. All wealthy countries have one thing in common. Somebody type and tell me what it is. All wealthy countries have this one thing in common. All of them. All poor countries don't have this. What do you think it is? Come on, quick. Liz, you got it right off the top. See, I know she's in the military. Donna, you got it right off the top. Oil. You got it. Energy. Whoever has energy, let me give you guys something. Let me stop right here. See, I didn't tell you everything. Me and my wife's heart was broken. Not only did we leave to go out of, we had just got, let me say it like this. We got an emergency call last Wednesday, right after class. I had to hop on a plane. I didn't tell you guys during class last week, but I had already told my wife because it has happened so suddenly and I couldn't stop class because I had already said I'm going to attend. So to keep my word to you guys, integrity, to keep my word to you guys, I went on and did the class, even though I didn't even feel like doing it. And I pretended like everything was okay. As soon as the class was over, I had to rush and pack a bag and we were at the airport and we had to fly out because my nephew got shot in the head. But there's more. So now I'm out there grieving. They had a visual. The entire football team, the principals, even his elementary school principals and teachers came out. That's how nice this young man was. And I spoke in front of all of them. And let me kind of deviate from here. And I told all of them in that crowd, I said, don't you ever tell me again about Black Lives Matter. I don't want to hear that crap no more. Why? Because Black Lives Matter when other races are doing harm to our Black people, but we do it to each other every day, and we act like it's normal. I say, don't tell me about Black Lives Matter anymore until Black Lives Matter to us. Can I get a side note, amen on that? Is that not the truth? That's the truth. Until we value our own lives, because they mess with the wrong person. Because guess what? Nancy's family is hooked up. They mess with the wrong family. Number one, her brother is a retired police officer, but he works at the DA's office. He got everybody after them. And they already caught the two guys. It was a father and son. Shot my nephew in the head, and he had nothing to do with the situation. Shooting at a school to get one person, and they hit the wrong person. But it didn't stop there. So now we already dealing with the grief of that. And we heading home. I get home and you've seen me do some of my videos with my prize fish, thousands of dollars worth of fish in my big tank in the main room. I come home, there was a power outage. I lost all of my fish, except for my algae eaters. Somehow them stupid things survived everything. But all of my other fish, all my cichlids, my parrots, all my other fish that I spend a lot of money on, all of them were dead. The whole house was stinking when I came in. And I came home and all of my fish were floating upside down. They were dead. And it was heartbreaking even more because we had them for so long. When Nancy wakes up in the morning, she walks to the tank, they will actually swim to her because they were so excited to see her. Because they got personality, they do recognize. All of our fish was dead. House is funky. 220 gallons, and it was greasy. I said, oh, now I understand where fish oil comes from. The whole tank was full of fish oil with floating dead bodies. What happened? Watch this. The power went out. What did I just say? Somebody type the word. What did I just say? Because I'm teaching you business. 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 What can you not do without? Power, energy. I can go without buying another hat. I can go without buying another pair of shoes. I don't need Louis Vuitton. But all hell gonna break loose in this household, including now if the power goes out. I wouldn't even be able to speak to you on this camera if I don't have power. So what makes a country powerful? Power, not being a powerful minded person or being arrogant and I'm in the seat of power. No, real energy, oil, natural gas. So then when you look at business, don't give me Green Deal. I understand that. That makes sense. I get you. But what I said again, I'm going to keep on saying it. If we were smart, this is why the market is rejoicing. Let me stop here before I go further. If you really want to look at it from the market, and you guys trade in the markets, which is why I'm teaching you from a business perspective, because you trade in these markets and I'm teaching how the markets see it. The markets are happy because they have a person. They don't like his personality. Don't think that the markets are happy because they like his personality, but they are happy because they now have a person who understands what? Business and what brings a company wealth. So when you have a person in the White House who have never owned a business, they don't make good business decisions. Type of 50 in the box if you heard what I said. Get out of your political situation and think about it from business. If you never ran a business in your life, you've always been an employee, meaning Senate, congressman, lawyer, hired by the state, whatever. You've always worked for somebody else. And now you have just been put over the biggest country in the world and you've never ran a business. How do you understand about business tax cuts? You don't. You have no idea the implications of what's going to happen to small and big businesses when you don't give them relief from paying taxes. That's how they take the revenue and grow the business to make the country strong. But if you never ran a business, if you always received a paycheck and never had to create a paycheck, because when you are a business owner, you have to create it. If you don't make it happen, it ain't happening. So it's you're going to always find that those who receive paychecks will always be the ones saying, yes, make them pay us. Why? Because for whatever reason in my head, I believe that if somebody else becomes successful, I should be a recipient of your success. You have a different party over here who says, I don't want what you got. Just give me the same opportunity so I can make my own way. Which is why I'm trying to do the copycat. I'm trying to produce a way for everybody. But this is the way business people think. What's the old saying? Don't give a man a fish, teach them how to fish. You can't teach how to fish if you never went fishing. So if you got people in, and I don't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat, if you got a person in the biggest office in the world who have never ran a business, you can understand why they're not making good business decisions. And I don't care for whether they're Republicans or Democrats. Type amen. Come on. That's the truth. That's just truth. I ain't say about your political party because it could be Democrats. If it was a Republican who didn't make good business decisions, I would say that still because it's the truth. If you have never ran a business, how could you run the biggest business in the world and make decisions without understanding the consequence of that choice? But business people think 5 times ahead because they got so much responsibility and they know that any decision I make, it's going to have a ripple effect. So I don't just shoot from the hip because I'm emotional. That's business. Are you guys following me so far? Type a yes if you're following me so far. I'm teaching you business. When I was running Bank of America, I always had to think 5 to 10 steps ahead because sometimes I was called into the meeting office with the president of Bank of America and the vice president frequently. I'm sitting in meetings with them, and I better have an answer. They don't like excuses. They want answers. Because me and my team were responsible for billions of dollars of real estate. Billions. You don't come in there making no excuses about social issues. You better have a business decision. Because they're leaning on you because you were the person communicating to the other teams. So I reported to them. And they never asked me my political position because they didn't care. It was a business. So when it comes to energy, I lost my fish because I lost energy. In fact, for you guys, you work hard and you may skip out on certain things, but there's two bills three. Let me give you the top three bills you always are focused on, which is why we had a landslide situation. This is what pissed people off. Here's your top three things, regardless of whether you're Democrat or Republican. Energy, number one, you needed a roof over your head at a controlled cost. Did the cost go up? It did. That pissed people off. So you could be the nicest person, but you did some bad choices that in fact cause consequences to people's rent. So people were pissed. I like you, the person, but I don't like the way you think because you ain't thinking like a business person. And every choice you make is costing me more money. Number two, you're going to always, when you got that roof, what are you going to always do? You may even do without cable. If your cell phone get cut off, that's fine. But the two other bills you're going to always try to make sure you pay is that water bill to rent your butt cheeks. And what else? The electric bill. Am I right? Type of 45 in the box if I'm right. Come on. Talk to me. Talk to me. Ain't this the truth? See, the truth will set you free. This is what the market is voting on. This is what really matters. At the end of the day, you can tell me about all these other things, but my cost of where I got to lay my head, how much I got to pay in gas, which gas is made of what? Oil, energy, water. Because I need to rinse my cheeks when I stink. And number four, here's the big one, electric. Those who went through the power outage in Florida or in North Carolina, guess what was the biggest thing? They had water because all that water flooded the streets. You got plenty of water. But what did they really need? Energy. All the wealthy countries control energy. All the poor countries have to get things imported because they don't have their own natural resource of energy. So when you go to Dubai and you go to Russia and these bigger countries, what do they have? Resources of energy. Here was the problem with us. Business, business, business. We have more energy than most of those countries. And I've said this before, I say it again. I don't like you, Uncle P. You don't have to like me, but this is the truth. We have more energy underneath our feet. So this is where I do agree with some of the politicians. We literally have more energy underneath our feet than some of the others. So therefore, to instantly reduce costs, we should have been getting our own resource. And you say, well, hold on, Uncle P. Hold on. What about the earth? What about the earth? What about the earth? I hear you. Put your business hat on. Don't give me your political stuff. Here's the problem. You think that you're saving the earth by buying the oil from another country that doesn't care about the earth? You need oil. You need it. It ain't a want, it's a need. Just like toilet paper. It ain't a need, it's a want. Now, what brand you get, Charmin, or whether you get the 69-cent pack, it don't matter. But your butt cheeks, when you're using that bathroom, you need what? Toilet paper. You need it. It's a need, not a want. So do you think that you're really saving the earth by going outside of your own country and importing it from other countries that cares nothing about the earth at all? So you think just because your patch of land, you're protecting it, that you're actually saving the earth as a whole? No, you weren't. It would have been smarter for us to produce it from here in the first place in a cleaner fashion than what we were doing over there, getting it from Venezuela and all these other places, paying them a premium for something we already had in our house. Now, from there, business. What we should have done is drill, get the oil out, and then use some of that wealth and investment to go then invest into Green New Deals and all these other things to help preserve the earth, because we could have afforded it then. But you can't do that measure if you don't have the money. And we in the United States are broke. We are trillions of dollars in the hole, and we have more than enough to help pay down this debt and still finance the idea. See, this is why I'm not for Democrats or Republicans. I think both of them had a good idea. We could have used what we had here, energy-wise, sold off the excess to become wealthy, just like Russia and all these other countries going to war with the excess money they got. We could have did better because we weren't trying to finance a war. We could have used the excess money that we made from selling the excess oil and invested into the green stuff, because now we could afford to do it on our own. We don't need China. We don't need Russia. We don't need all these Venezuela and all these other countries that are terrorists and have to still deal business with them, which is why we limit how much intervention we do. Why? Because we know we can't over intervene because we still need them, because we're stupid enough to keep buying something from them because we need it, because we just want to say, oh, I ain't getting it out of my ground. Do you see how that doesn't make logical sense? Type of 200 in the box if that doesn't make logical sense. You're going to buy what you need from your enemies because you just want to say, at least I didn't touch my ground. So every time you buy it from them, do you understand now why they're bad boys? Because you're paying them. You're helping to keep money in their pockets. You're paying them a premium. So now they can afford to do bad things in the world. Do you see how constantly bad decisions are being made by people who never ran a business? These people can afford to do what they're doing because you're paying them. Through whose money? All of y'all who keep saying pay your fair share, every time you pay your taxes, you helping to contribute to this. You're helping to pay for it. They're using your money to pay for their mistakes. Had I not bought from over there, those wicked countries wouldn't have the money to do the wicked stuff they're doing, because I'm no longer your biggest customer. Any business who have lost a big customer, they lose revenue. They can't pop them champagne bottles because they can't afford it. That's what we're doing. We bought stuff from them. We're constantly buying from them. So we're financing their foolishness just so we can brag and say we don't have to touch our ground. Man, we're not making no sense. Let me hurry up. I'm almost done. Here's another one that didn't make sense to me. Oh my God, this bothers me. And again, this is just from business. All right, guys, I'm gonna hurry up. I'm almost done. Here we go. Here we go. This one, I was like, oh my gosh, you got good points on certain social issues. Why? But then when I asked myself who's saying it, you never ran a business. I told you, actually, my little brother knows her. Her and my brother had some picture together. So my brother knows her. I told you, my brother knows. He was in a picture recently with Bruce Lee's family. They was create a street for Bruce Lee, and my brother was with Bruce Lee's family. He know the actors and this and that. That girl from Dune, that movie Dune. Y'all know that movie, that girl from that movie Dune, that little chick. Yeah, my brother was recently hanging out with her, and so my brother knows a lot of people. But here's the point. Here's what didn't make sense. I was like, oh my God, you're gonna ruin yourself. You literally are you're shooting yourself in the foot. Business. Here's what didn't make sense. You kept on hearing, watch this, price gouging. Did y'all hear that one? Type of 5 if you heard about price gouging. And I don't care, again, if this was a Republican doing this, I still would have said, you're not smart. You're going to lose. You're going to lose, because business people know better than the rhetoric they're hearing. Okay, here's the problem. They shot themselves in the foot with this one. All right, so let's kind of backtrack and put this together, and I'm almost done. So we authorized the Keystone Pipeline. Now Russia has unlimited supply of money now because they can sell off the excess oil, which is what Europe was doing. They was afraid when the war broke out, but they couldn't really get involved because guess what? They had to buy their oil, especially during the winter times, from who? Russia. So they really couldn't help Ukraine like they wanted to, because then Russia said, and Russia did. They threatened, oh, I'll just cut you off from the oil. See why? Because they need it. And how do I know this? Because I was presented with a stock investment where Europe was trying to go to this other companies to try to get in an emergency situation to try to hurry up and get their energy from a new source. And somebody sent me information on the new stock where this new company was potentially going to be, so I told you I know more than what, than the average person. I get the information. Okay. So anyway, long story short, that's why Europe wasn't in a rush to go to war with Russia, because they needed Russia, because Russia has the oil now, thanks to us. Okay. Now, let's push this a little bit further. So now you have that going on, and we're sending billions of dollars now to protect a country that never would have been at war if we wouldn't have made that decision. Now, keep in mind, Ukraine also provides, and I think their wheat or whatever it is, they were one of the world's biggest importers, but now that they are at war, they can't export, stuff that we need for our food. So guess what? Where are you going to get it from? You got to get it from somewhere else, but they're going to charge you more money because they know, hey, it is what it is. We're at war. All right. So then prices go up. Your groceries went up. Okay. Bad choices were made here. Across the groceries go up. Because you making bad choices, businesses, in order to survive, have to get their supplies from another source that they normally didn't have to. If you're following me on this type of 10, okay, I'm going home. I'm flying the plane home, but I need you to see this. My normal place where I used to get my supplies, I can't get it there. So now I have to go to an outside vendor who's going to charge me more money to be able to get the same things that I need. That makes sense to everybody? Yes, yes, yes. Come on, quick. I'm almost out of time. Quick. Yes? Okay, everybody get that? So as a grocery person, a supplier of the food you putting on your table, is it really my fault that I have to raise my prices? Yes or no? Oh, quick. I gotta go. I've been all the time, but I'm just teaching you guys from business. This is where I do appreciate my experience at Bank of America, because it taught me business, how they really think, dealing with rich people, how they think. They talk all this political talk, but do you really think rich people are impacted by President Trump or by Kamala Harris? No, they got so much money. Beyonce or this, they're all them people, Tyler Perry, they all up on stage. Regardless of who got in office, it ain't going to affect their pockets. They're rich. It affects the poor and the middle class. So you got to have somebody who's not going to make decisions that hurt you. So you made a decision that is causing the inflation to rise, and then you come back and start preaching this thing called price gouging. You're going to penalize me and make me the bad guy for a decision you made to make the food costs go up. How is that my fault? Now you're going to come after me? I say, oh, they messed up there. They messed up. They shouldn't have said that. Because what you're doing is you're putting ownership of your poor mistakes and bad decisions onto the local stores. And if they would have did that, guess what would have happened to some of your jobs? Are you seeing how this comes back home to roost? Because now what you're basically saying is, I have to put my costs back to normal, even though I have to pay extra costs to get my supplies now because of you. I'm paying 15% premium for my supplies, but you want me to charge 15% less. How am I supposed to survive on that? Well, I'll tell you how you survive. Guess what they would have done? They would have fired you. Everybody understand what I'm saying here? This is not political. This is business. Type of 65 if you understood what I just taught you. I'm a black guy with a baseball hat, but I'm far from stupid. So when I'm listening to all these different talking points, I hear what you're saying. It sounds good, but from a business perspective, it doesn't make any sense because it's going to cost the very people you saying that you're coming to protect. You're screwing up. For an example, you don't believe me? All right. Y'all trading in the markets. What happened on Friday? NFP. Go look at them job numbers. That was insanely ridiculous. How could their numbers be that low? Well, here's what happened in the markets. The markets saw NFP numbers and they were scared out of their minds. They're like, oh my God. Oh my God. And you telling me you need 4 more years? So immediately before the election was over, they said, now, not watch this. We don't like Trump, but at least we're going to get a business person in the office who understands how to help us run a business. And that's the reason why the markets, which is built by businesses, shot up. They're happy because they're saying, we're now going to be able to make money again. We're now going to be able to hire more people. And now the country itself will start doing better. Okay. At the end of the day, what we're looking at, people, and I'm bringing the plane home and we're done. What this whole thing was about was prosperity over personality. That's what it was about. Do you choose a better personality? And hands down, Kamala Harris was a much better personality. Hands down, nobody can argue that. Even if you're a Republican, you can't argue that she's a much better personality. But what it came down to is, do I vote personality or do I want my prosperity? What is prosperity for the common household? What did I just say your main 3 issues are going to be? Your roof over your head, which is your rent, which nobody can deny that it happened. Your rent went up. And I'll share one more point on that and I'll let you go. Your rent went up, water and electric and gas. All of those things shot up. Nobody can deny that because it's in the reports, CPI reports. That's why I told you guys who learn from me, CPI reports. That's your presidential report card. That's customer inflation numbers. They call it CPI numbers, consumer price index, but it's actually customer inflation numbers. That's how much you're paying more when this person makes decisions. That's what the CPI report is for me. How much is your choice going to make me pay more? And everybody across the board end up paying more. Why? Because we have people in there who never owned a business. Quite different. Let me leave you with this, though. I was going to share something else, but it ain't necessary. Let me leave you guys with this, and this is what God had shared with me. And I told Nancy this, and I want you guys to leave with this on your mind. We did all this political talk, we did all this. Number one, I was talking to a group of guys the other day, and we was talking about this. And I said, and God laid it on my heart. He said, I hear people talking more about Kamala Harris and President Trump than they do about me. And he said, when you sick, you don't pray to them. In fact, they don't even know who you are personally. When you're in a crisis, you don't ask for them, you ask for me. When your money is short, you don't ask for them, you pray into me. When there's a national crisis or there's a flood or this and that, oh, you said you don't believe in God, but all of a sudden you hold me responsible. So in one way, shape, or form, I'm still a part of your life, but you never even wanted to acknowledge me. And for those who go to church, that's all you do. You go to church, but then during the week, you don't even talk about me to nobody. I hear more about Trump and Kamala coming out of your mouth than anything you've ever said to anybody about me. And you only talk about me in a crisis. Shame, shame, shame. Number 2, I told Nancy this, and I'm teaching you who are in the Super Easy family how to think correctly. You wonder why your uncle don't trip off of politics. Here's the reason why. We just had this lengthy conversation about Kamala and Trump. But at the end of this conversation, don't you still got to go right back to that job or whatever you're doing to earn your money? So voting for them, that's great and all that. But realistically, on a personal level, did it stop what you got to do to put food on the table for your family? Yes or no? Yes or no? See, you got to become the president of your house. You act like they was going to be your savior. It was entertaining like a football game to me. It was like the Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, We're right back here on Wednesday like we normally are. I made some money on some trades this morning like I normally do. So whether Kamala won as president or Trump would have won as president, Uncle P still got to hit these charts and take a look and say, how am I going to make some money to pay for these expenses? How am I going to run this business to make sure that the people who's under me, making sure that I make sure that they can afford to put food on their table? What difference did Trump make or Kamala? Are they sitting here with me trying to figure this out? No. So then why am I losing my mind over it? Come on, type of amen, somebody. It's good discussion, but how much impact does it really have on what you got to do? You still got to work your job. You still got mouths to feed. You still got to find a way, regardless who would have been voted in the office. So why are you putting so much emphasis on them as if they're your God when you got a God and you got yourself? And you pay attention less to the two most important, which is God and you putting so much emphasis on them, like their policies is really going to put food on your table. Guess what? If you don't show up to work, you ain't got no money. So it didn't matter what their policy was, you are the focal point. So calm it down. Let the nation have their rants and raves. Let them act the fool. Let them do what they want. Because truth is, you're business people. And business people ain't dependent on the president to put food on our table. We depend on the decisions we make. Am I right about it? Type of 100 if I'm right. Monica, this is my heart's desire. She said, I need a bigger platform. Honey, this is my heart's desire. And this is why I need the money from the markets, because I don't want to, yeah. I got bigger aspirations than just trading. I don't care about that. In fact, sometimes I use these classes to help teach you guys other things you need to know, because trading only take a few minutes. Play some trades and walk away. We'll let it do what it do. Either it's going to win, it's going to lose. But then everything else about life comes into play, and nobody talks about it. These bullet points I just shared with you guys, I ain't hear one bit about it during the presidential election from either candidate. And this is why I don't put my faith into them, because the things that need to be talked about that's really going to impact y'all, ain't nobody saying a single word. They tell you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. And now I'll conclude with this. Now you understand why I'm pushing so hard. Now, again, you can participate or don't participate. It is your choice, but the opportunity is there. I am trying to give you guys the doorway to revenue streams to come into your pocket without you having to be there. Because some of you guys, you need to supplement your income and you keep asking and praying how. The markets have an unlimited supply of money. And while you're learning how to do it, you're giving the money back, because you know you ain't ready to trade a real account, and you keep opening up prop firm accounts. You keep opening up a real accounts instead of just sticking in demo. Why? Because you need more money, but you're giving away the little you have. It's not smart. And that is why, me personally, I am investing into these prop firms using their money and letting somebody else trade it for me. So I'm not stressing out over this. I ain't stressing out over who the president is. They can both kiss my behind, because guess what? Ain't a single one of them came in your neighborhood or mine before this presidential election. And I agree with Derek. Where were you all those years? You only show up when you need my vote, and that's Republican and Democrat. Both of y'all can kiss my behind. Because you only show up when you need me to vote for you. But where were you when I needed you to vote for me? Some of y'all struggling to pay your water bill. Where were they? And here you are cackling like they're your God. Man, can I borrow $80? Man, my bill is short and this and that. Okay, where were they? Ask them to borrow it. Are they going to help you? No, of course not. They don't show up. They don't even know who you are. But then during election season, they act like you the best of friends. I don't care about that. I believe in me. I believe that God has given me ability to think, and I'm going to figure things out. And I'm going to figure it out for my friends and the people around me. Who cares? And I'm going to open up an opportunity for others. If you want it, cool. If you don't, that's your business. But I got to think past these politics. Because what if he's in the office and the things that we think gonna happen ain't gonna happen? What if she was voting in the office and the things that we thought was gonna happen ain't gonna happen? Like somebody said, where were you for the black people before the election? I didn't hear nothing about it in the hood. But I still got to get this bread, Fred, because I got mouths to feed. See, I can't put my energy into that, y'all. I got to put my energy into my mind. What can I do to learn more skills and do some things and bring on board some other operations or whatever I need to put food on the table without me actually having to be there to do it myself? Because seeing my nephew laid up in that bed, that shocked the hell out of me. And I'll say that in closing. I'm concerned. What if something happens to me? If this class was helpful to anybody, type of 1000 in the box. I know this was an unorthodox class. Again, we didn't do any trading or charting because tomorrow's going to be Fed interest rate. So anything, any kind of trade setups you see, you're going to be wasting your time because it can blow right through there depending on what they say tomorrow. So no, we didn't talk about charts today. We can get back to that next week. But if I helped you in any way, shape, or form to realize, I understand you have your political point of view, but you are giving them more power than you're giving to your own self. You're believing more in what they are promising to do for you than what you believe you can do for yourself. And that is a problem because you gave up on you and you believing that they're going to be your savior when God is saying, if you and me team up, we're more than the majority. We can get this done. I'll give you ideas if you're willing to work on them. We can figure this out because they are not going to come to your door and ask you, do you need $80 to pay that water bill? Everybody understand what I'm saying? And that's real talk. All right, you guys. Anyway, thank you for entertaining this conversation. Thank you for everybody who called in and gave your comments. This was really, really good. I told you guys, I used to have my talk show. I really love doing this better than this is me. I can do this all day long. But even better when it comes to relationships. Oh, I can just have a field day when it comes to relationships. I really want to have that. Ooh, I can do. See, this is me. See, this is why I need the finances. I don't want to be on the charts all day long. I prefer to do things like this. I have an aspiration to have another talk show again, but on a big, big platform. That is my goal, not trading. Trading will finance it where I don't need. Here, watch this. Hear me good. What if I had my own thing, but I didn't need the people? See, a lot of these shows, they go under if people stop watching the commercials that finance us to show this and that. What if I had my own money in the first place? For an example, and I say this in closing, like one of the gentlemen said, yeah, what if Trump wasn't rich? Would he still have been able to do what he wanted to do? The answer is absolutely no. But because he is rich, the man can do whatever he wants, good or bad, but money is power. So if it works for him, why can't it work for me? I'll say it again. If it works for him, why can't it work for me? To where I can make enough money to where I don't have to need people to like me in order for me to do the will of God over my life. I can do it with or without people. Because now I'm not begging for your vote because guess what? If you don't vote for me, that's okay. You're not going to stop me from moving and accomplishing my life's purpose before I hit this grave because now I can afford to do it whether you pay or don't pay. Are y'all understanding where this digital real estate comes from? I made money in these markets this morning. Okay, you didn't subscribe to this. Okay, and that's your loss. Okay, and I don't like Uncle P. Okay, and see, this money from this market, it didn't ask, well, do Susie like Uncle P? No, when the trades went in, the money went in my account. I don't need you to like me. But that gives me the freedom to tell you the truth because I don't really care whether you like me or not. I love you enough to tell you the truth so that the truth can set you free without being feared. Well, if I say it like this, they ain't going to tune in no more. Don't tune in. That's fine. I ain't for everybody. I knew that a long time ago. But for those who I am, I'm not afraid to tell you the truth because guess what? I'm not taking an offering at the end of my speech. I'm just telling you the truth because I care for you. Because money went in my account this morning. Did it go into yours? Or are you still waiting for Kamala or Trump to put money in your pocket? All right, I'm done.